1 out of every 4 Americans aged 45 or older is now taking a statin drug, such as Crestor or Lipitor. These anti-cholesterol drugs, ladies and gentlemen, are now a multi-billion-dollar industry. But what actually causes more problems? Cholesterol or the statin drugs that attempt to lower cholesterol levels? Well, according to Dr. Stephanie Seneff, quote, humans need cholesterol like plants need chlorophyll, end of quote. Now, if that's true, cholesterol must be pretty darn important. On the other hand, Dr. Joe Mercola states that only 1 out of every 100 patients on a statin drug actually needs to be on a statin drug. He also goes on to say that these popular statin drugs create 60,000 new diabetics every year. Now, for those of you that don't know, a diabetic patient is worth $750,000 or $750,000 to the pharmaceutical industry and the medical industry over his or her lifetime. So 99 out of 100 people then, according to Dr. Mercola, who are on a statin, totally don't need to be on them. But yet, this is creating a tremendous stream of revenue for the pharmaceutical industry. Not only so they can sell you statin drugs for the rest of your life, so that they can sell you all these other drugs too when you become a diabetic. So this is bad news for you and your health. This is great news for pharmaceutical and medical industries. Now, we all need cholesterol. In fact, our brain could not operate optimally without the right cholesterol level. That's why when we get cholesterol too low, we're just looking to die of a stroke. Now, all the cells in our body have cell membranes around the outside, and these cell membranes are all made in part from cholesterol. Cholesterol is also important for hormone synthesis. For example, the male hormone testosterone and the female hormone estrogen require cholesterol to be produced. Now, the truth is that more people die every year in the U.S. from having cholesterol levels that are too low, below 150, than cholesterol levels that are too high, above 200. Yet it's ridiculous that this lie continues to be told over and over and over, that statin drugs are saving people's lives. This is simply not the case, folks. For example, the CARE trial, which is one of the largest trials or research studies that's been done on statin drugs, if you look at the real numbers, not the way that they've manipulated them, the pharmaceutical companies, but if you look at the real numbers, what this CARE trial tells us is if you're a male age 47 or below, statin drugs will decrease your chance of dying of a heart attack by a measly 1.1% as compared to a placebo. Can I get a golf clap, anyone? Doesn't sound very impressive to me. It also goes on to state that if you're a female, there's no evidence of statin drugs decreasing your chance of dying of a heart attack at all. Or if you're a male above the age of 47, well, you're SOL as well. But there is a solution. We've all probably heard that we should eat better and we should exercise more. And I would agree with those things. But there are also 3 supplements that I would recommend for you to take on a daily basis to help out with your heart health. One of those is called CoQ10 or coenzyme Q10. So if you have ever taken a statin drug, whether short-term use or long-term use, or if you have a family history of heart disease or a personal history of heart disease, you should be taking at least 100 milligrams of CoQ10 every day. CoQ10 is important for skeletal muscle health, it's important for your heart, and it's important for your liver. And anyone who's ever been on a statin drug, presently or in the past, it is a known fact that statin drugs will deplete your CoQ10 levels. So anyone that's ever been on a statin, it's essential that you take CoQ10. Now, Dr. Roger Murphy, in his book, Heart Disease, What Your Doctor Won't Tell You, talks about a couple of other supplements, which I'd like to share. One is vitamin E. Not just any vitamin E, but the kind with mixed tocopherols. Dr. Murphy goes on to state that if you take 1 vitamin E gel cap per day, you will decrease your chance of dying of a heart attack by a whopping 40%. male or female, below or above the age of 47. Doesn't matter. He also goes on to say that if you take 2 omega-3 fish oils per day, so 2 gel caps of a good quality fish oil, you will also decrease your chance of dying of a heart attack by another 41%. So if you put those 2 supplements together, we're taking 2 good quality omega-3 fish oils a day and 1 vitamin E with mixed tocopherols per day, we are going to decrease our chance, ladies and gentlemen, of dying of a heart attack by a whopping 81%. I'll put that up against your statin drug any day of the week. Before I close, I'd like to share with you Don's story. Don is a patient of mine. He's been coming to me as a chiropractic patient once a month for maintenance care for over 10 years now. But Don recently came in about 6 months ago with a new complaint. He'd had no new injury. He hadn't fallen or got hurt at work or anything like that. But he had switched MDs a few weeks earlier. And the MD that he started going to was a pill pusher, and he put Don on a statin drug. I did my chiropractic exam, and I didn't find anything out of the ordinary. But yet when Don came into me that day, he said, for the last few weeks, I've had almost total loss of use of this right arm. He said, I'm driving home from work with the left arm on the steering wheel, and the right arm's just laying in my lap because I can't do anything with it. He said, it's weak, it's numb, it burns, and it's painful. And I don't know what to do, Doc. Well, I told Don, I said, Don, I can't tell you to not take the statin drug because if I did, I'd be practicing medicine without a license. But what I can tell you, Don, is if it was me, there's no way in heck that I'd be taking that statin drug tonight, or the next night, or the next night, or the next night. So Don called me 2 days later. He said, Doc, I just wanted to let you know that I took your advice. I haven't taken a statin now for 48 hours, and I just want to let you know that the arm is 80% better. He said, I haven't even gotten around to taking the supplements you told me about yet, but I will. So then when Don came to see me for his next visit, his follow-up, his 1-month follow-up, which was about 26 days after I talked to him on the phone, he came in and he said, I just wanted to let you know that a few days after I talked to you on the phone, I finally started taking my CoQ10, my fish oils, and my vitamin E with mixed tocopherols, and I'd like you to know, Doc, that this right arm is now 99% better. He went back to his MD and told him what happened. His MD denied that the statin drug had anything to do with that arm. So obviously, that MD doesn't really know what he's talking about when it comes to cholesterol and statin drugs. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you, don't blindly follow the pack in regards to the so-called cholesterol information spewed by the pharmaceutical and medical industries. Question your medical doctor about this. Find out if he actually knows what the heck he's talking about. In the meantime, eat right, exercise, take your omega-3 fish oils, vitamin E, and CoQ10, and do your best to avoid being the next unsuspecting victim of statin drug use. Thank you.